Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another VeVe and Ecomi video. And this is going to be one of my favorite videos to talk to you all about because it really just encompasses why I trust this company so much, why my faith is strong in this company. Aside from just the licenses and things like that, it really is the team, the CEO, the things that they say. So before we even jump into it, before you all understand the context of what's going on here, I want to ask you all a question. So when it comes down to, think about Amazon becoming successful, Amazon becoming what it is today. Do you think that during that process when they were building Amazon up, were they focusing on things like how much items were selling for? Were they worried about how much things were going to be priced at on Amazon? Or were they worried about the experience of the person uploading the item and the person trying to buy the item, how it was going to be shipped? Do you think they were worried about the money aspect, or do you think they were worried about the experience? Because when you look at Amazon, you order your package, it's there damn near the next day. I mean, sometimes there's some time you have to wait, but it works. It just works. It's simple. You open the app, you click on what you want, you press buy, and it shows up at your front door soon after. It's just simple. And that's not a simple process, but they just made it simple. So I think that there's a correlation here. There's definitely a correlation here between the focus of what VeVe has. Like, VeVe is focused like it's an Amazon. When I say that I believe VeVe can be at the level of Amazon and at the level of like Google and things like that, it's a mindset. It's much deeper. I understand the NFT space, and I think the NFT space is definitely going to be that huge. The NFT space will definitely be that huge in my opinion. But the reason that I think VeVe is a strong contender for which company can be the Amazon of the NFT space, you're finna see why. You're finna see why. So before we jump into it, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you stay updated. Let's get it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. I have a question, a pretty direct question for you in terms of costing. Ultra rare DeLorean. You just mentioned Back to the Future. I saw that DeLorean there. I saw they're all sold out. What did one of those go for?
I haven't actually kept my eye on what the ultra rare go for. They possibly could be. I think we had them sold at about 100 US or so at the beginning, and maybe they're going for maybe 300-400. I do need to check the state. Yeah, you know.
Based on that right there, before you even hear the next part, does it look like he actually is paying attention to numbers or care about revenue and things like that? Does it look like that's his focus? Like, he barely even knows this. Now listen to how fluently the next part comes out when you actually get to hear what it is that he's focused on, his vision, and what he cares about. And you can see the integrity in the words that he's saying.
I'm a collector. I don't really just look at the value. A collector is really about owning it, right? Sometimes I try to own multiple pieces of everything so I could trade with another person. But I don't really keep my eye out on the value of these. And I do understand a lot of these collectibles are going for insane prices. And when I say insane price, I mean, it's not just the VeVe collectibles. I mean, the NFT digital artwork. You know, people is going for 69.3 million US earlier this year. You got CryptoPunk. There's a lot of other, you know, crypto artwork or NFT artwork out there is perform just exceptional.
So did you just hear that? So when I heard that, it seems so simple. It seems like such a basic statement, but when you really dive into what he just did, he's aware of the competition. He's aware of the money and what everything's going for in the space. He's looking into the NFT space, but when it comes down to what he's paying attention to, he's a collector. He does not just focus on the value. He may grab two things, but that's to trade sometimes in the future. Basically, what he has talked about when he talked about VeVe, he talked about the experience, like being able to trade, being able to grab two and make these deals with people. It wasn't even about like the monetary, like flipping and things like that. It's really about the experience. And I think that that's what sets VeVe apart, because a lot of these other platforms, they don't really have an experience. They're just like a random place where you buy stuff, and I mean, it's just quick exchanges of money. And of course, everybody loves that. That's why it's so successful. Of course, everybody loves like random quick exchanges of money. Who wouldn't? But at the same time, I think an experience lasts longer, because there's always going to be another platform that can come along and do the same thing that you're doing if you have no experience or nothing tied to you that's really your secret sauce. There's always going to be something that can just come along and take your spot. I think OpenSea and things like that is like, yes, it has a clear, huge lead, but at the same time, this focus on the experience that David has and the team has, this is what has me sold. I've known from the beginning that their mindset is in the right place. They're not worried about the short term, the price of the token and things like that. And the fact that so many investors have come and gone and have said this project is trash now and stuff like that. And they have not budged on their morals. They have not budged on, they've stood on what they believe in, which is the product. That is what lets me know that they have the vision to keep going and powering through to their goals and objectives. And this is the reason that I invested in this company personally. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but I look for this type of person to invest my money in. Because at the end of the day, you're going to always have these projects that's going to come out here, make some noise because it's a pretty decent idea, but everything's moving fast. You're getting quick returns and things like that. I'm not looking for what can make me quick returns right now. And for my generation, for my lifetime, I want to know what project will be able to have some money for my kids, my grandkids, like that type of impact. Like, what's going to be the next Amazon? What's going to be the next Google? Like, what's going to be these big things where if you get in on the ground floor, people are going to be looking at you 20, 30 years from now like, man, how did you ever do that? Like what made you make that decision? Like, people are not going to know how you did it. And I believe that during a time where everything is about money and crypto, everything is about fast results, and you have to be a certain type of crazy to see all this fast money going around you and to be going all in on a token that's constantly dropped, like that's dropped what 90%? It's like, this is and think about this. The team owns a huge amount of Omi, right? The team owns an insane amount of Omi. And people say that, oh, they're making so much money. Bro, that these licenses are not free. They're not making as much money as people think. These licenses ain't free at all. But they own all of this Omi, and they're watching their token eat shit. They're just watching it go down. Like, what, you have to be a special type of crazy to have a token, to have a cash cow in your reach and just completely just let it go down, not care about it, because you know what's most important right now. Their vision is insane. Their mindset is insane. And this is what keeps me motivated. Like, seeing things like this, because this is one of these small nuanced things that I don't think a lot of people would notice. I don't think a lot of people would value. And I value things like this. I value hearing that response from David, because it reminds me, like, yes, this team is they know what's up. They know, because it's not like he's oblivious to the fact that there's so much money being made around him. He just cares about what's going to happen in the future. He's like, okay, they're doing some dumb stuff right now, but VeVe is building something that's going to have that true longevity to be a Disney type of brand. These other brands, like, be completely honest. People, CryptoPunks, yes, it's going to be some successful businesses around them. It's going to be some successes in the short term. Do you think that either of these brands, like, which of these brands popping off right now do you think is going to be around in the next 20, 30 years? Which of these brands do you think is actually going to get to the level of a Disney? It's going to get to the level of an Amazon, Facebook, Apple? Which of these projects do you actually believe can do that? And I mean, if you genuinely believe some of these projects has that, then I mean, fair enough. I mean, you're probably more educated on the project than me, so I mean, I will have to take your word for it. But when I look at my project that I'm invested in, VeVe, you partnered with the top brands in the world, hundreds of the top brands in the world. If I wanted to bank on something lasting 20, 30 years, it's definitely going to be VeVe, and being successful throughout that entire time as well. If I wanted to compare something to an Apple, Amazon, and thing, it would be VeVe for me personally. It's just a no-brainer in my eyes. So that's just my perspective. That's how I look at things, man. Not a financial advisor, but that's just the way I see things.
And the fans, the communities is getting behind them is just getting bigger and bigger, growing.
I love that you brought that up. And, some of these paintings, as you said, $66 million. And, 6 months prior to that, someone bought it for $600,000. Where do you see like NFT? Do you see it still going at this pace? Or do you think that 90% of the NFTs that are being sold are just never going to grow in value?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so if you look at a comic, so for example, the Marvel #1 comic, the 1939, I think back in 1939, they printed about 880,000 copies of these. And it was printed in 2 different months. The first month was about 80,000, and I think they did a reprint or another run at 800,000. And or could be more. Don't get I might need to check my stat. And they're going for like 10 cents back then. But 2019, one of these 9.3 plus Marvel #1 is going for $1.26 million. So the whole thing is not really about NFT. I mean, if you bought a Lamborghini car in one of the classic 1950s, it's going to be worth a lot more today. And that's what this whole non-fungible is about. I mean, it's worth something to me in a certain value, but to another person, another user, collector, it's a different value. So basically, it's going back to, it's one man's trash and another man's, treasure in this. You can't really put a real sentimental value. For me,
like, listen to his answer, bro. It's like so much deeper. Like, my man's asked the question. He tried to make it real simple. Is this stuff going to be worth money? Is going to be valuable? And he goes straight into what he finds to be valuable. And that's what touches on people's heartstrings. Like, one man's trash is another man's treasure. He talks about what truly makes something valuable, because these things are going, like the things that they have on VeVe is going to impact people's hearts. It's going to impact collectors. It's going to have that value because they're reaching out to that community that's really passionate. And not only are they reaching out to the community that's passionate about collecting already, they're creating new collectors, new people that's passionate about this. Like, these season 1 collectibles, us who's been a part of this VeVe community, it's some NFTs like the ladies in the VeVe community were just talking about how they were getting attached to some of them and wouldn't even want to sell some. It's like, we were here from the beginning. We've seen the token go crazy. Like we've seen it go up. We've seen the downs. Like, we've been through a lot. And some of these collectibles, it takes, like, just thinking about it and thinking about when we acquired it, it takes us back to a certain time. And it's five years down the line from now, 5 years. When we think about these collectibles, when we see these collectibles in our vault, we're going to remember the feelings and the thoughts we were having all that time ago when we first acquired that collectible. And this is going to have that, this is going to mean a lot to us. So I feel like this is what VeVe is on. VeVe is on to something. And based on the question that they're asking good questions. These are very great questions. And this is what their audience, I'm sure, cares about. This is what everybody cares about in the crypto space. But David's answers, to me, his answers are just coming across as if he's just so far ahead. He's so far ahead when it comes to thinking, so far ahead when it comes to focus. And I think VeVe itself proves how far ahead they really are. So his answers are just gold for me. Like, this whole interview, his answers are gold.
If you can go back to able to purchase 1939 and read that digital comic, it's amazing. I mean, and we were selling them at $6.99. So you could actually still buy a copy around in the secondary market around that. So someone's probably on a comment, they read it, they decided, I finished reading it, now I pass it on. And that's what this whole economy is all about. Yeah. Now, so the art world, in regards to, maybe you think it's a hyperinflation but really it's not. I mean, if you look at some of the physical artwork, like Leonardo work, it's going for, you know, 60, $100 million. You know, back then he's probably trade that for, you know,
Some wine.
it will be
an ear.
it will be something ridiculously low, and that's just how really the non-fungible system work. I mean, the fungible system is really the difference between is, well, the oil price today is how much a barrel, the gold price is how much a bar or a gram or an ounce, and how much is the US dollar peg against New Zealand dollar, and so on. Those are very, you know, stable. Non-fungible is just really up to what you think it's worth.
So there we have it, man. We're gonna end it here. I just think that the things that he was saying here, the points that he was touching on, and just the way he answered these questions and the direction that he took them, I think that it was amazing. It's amazing to see if you really analyze and hear out what he's saying and the way that he's speaking. You know, their passion, like, is unparalleled, man. And I think that this is what makes me believe in this project so heavily. So let me know what you all think. Be sure to drop that thumbs up. Leave some comments down below sharing your thoughts as always. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn on notifications. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you all on the next one, man. Peace out, y'all.